Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Rebels, you guys. Oh my goodness, the last episode I watched was so good. It was great to have a Hera story. It was really just a wonderful message in general. Just really goes to show so much about like Hera and her attitude and resolve, and like seeing her find a little piece of her heart, just a little piece of her past and everything, and then having to make a very tough decision about it for the good of everything she's fighting for right now. It just makes me love her even more. Oh my goodness. And we had a lot of stuff going on in the episode, actually. I talked about a lot of it at the end of my last reaction, but I will just briefly get into it. Before I do that, I do just want to say, if you're joining me early today, you know just what that means. It means that you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so, so much. And as always, I'm sending up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still, thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in that description down below. And if you are joining me on those YouTubes, I hope you'll hit like and subscribe for me. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, guys, the other big component of the last episode, I feel like, was getting to know Thrawn and seeing him in action a little bit more. And boy, is he scary. He is scary on a whole different level than like a lot of people we've seen to date, because he is very, very capable in like every way. And it's going to be a lot harder to exploit the carelessness, let's put it that way. You know, I think I was talking about that a little bit at the end of my last reaction, you know, arrogance, whatever you want to call it, arrogance, carelessness, whatever. There's a lot of ways to slip through the cracks in the Empire. And yeah, I don't think we're going to have, everyone's got a weakness, but I don't think that we're going to have as many with this individual. Let's put it that way. It is a very bad sign. It's already a bad sign for, like, we see how in this situation, okay, they called him in, and guess what? Everything started getting really, really swift and tactical and scary. Scary good in terms of how they were doing with their operation. It must have been absolute just heartbreak for Hera to have to blow up her childhood home with all the stuff in it. Not that there was that much stuff left, but there was some stuff. And you know what? Honestly, I know as much as that hurts, it would hurt worse to think of the way that the Empire could come in and just, like, taken over it and almost like, it feels like the vandalism in a way. It's not vandalism, but it feels like that, you know? So it was just it was really heartbreaking, but beautiful at the same time. Just Hera's whole attitude, and I loved having a Hera episode. I loved exploring her more. We also got some stuff about Chopper in the last episode, and we know now, they had told us a while back how Chopper kind of came to be with this group, and that was through Hera. And the crashed ship and everything. And even Chopper, we saw like having a moment about like the Clone Wars days and how he came to be here and everything. And I would really love to know even more about that too. Like, what was his like everyday, like, who is his person that maybe he got put with a different person each time. I don't know. But, you know, it's just like, what was his life like in the Clone Wars? And honestly, like, the way that we know that they had pretty regular memory wipes and everything, because we went over that in Clone Wars as well. The fact that he hasn't had that since, I know you guys pointed out, is why he has such personality. But maybe in the Clone Wars, maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just kind of, he wasn't Chopper as we know him. He was getting the constant, like, refreshes and everything as he was supposed to, and we just know that Anakin wasn't doing that with R2, which was a good thing. I like droid personalities, personally. I have a lot of fun getting to see droids being whoever they would be with personalities. But anyway, great episode. I'm dying to see what's going to happen next. The show is it just impresses the heck out of me every single time I sit down to watch. And every time I sit down, I'm like, but how are they going to do it today? And they just pull something out. It's amazing. So, all right, guys, without further ado, what do you say we go ahead and we jump right into the next episode of Rebels? Let's do this.
Assault transport's the perfect place to find weapons, ammo, maybe even some proton bombs.
Hey, hey.
Is this a separatist battle droid?
Hey!
They'll pace one anyway.
Droid.
This place used to be crawling with them.
Remember the battle
Clankers.
droids? Clankers.
I like that. How many of these
I feel like Zeb would have made a good clone.
Probably
They
10.
don't look very dangerous.
Listen,
Well-
those droids wiped out a lot of Republic troopers. Many of them were my friends.
Yeah, we know. We
Rex
know,
has been
buddy.
through a lot.
Sorry.
battle?
More proton bombs in there than we can carry.
Good job,
Sweet.
Rex.
Yeah.
Captain?
Yee, Rex. Can count on Rex.
Hey, Captain,
Oh,
the
Chopper's
droids
off
used to
on an
protect
adventure.
Their armies with ray shields.
What's a ray shield?
That's a ray shield.
This is a ray shield.
Oh
Look,
crap.
aren't those battle
Oh
droids?
no.
I thought they were all
You're
shot down.
kidding me! No, wait.
You have been captured by the Separatist Alliance.
We got some news for you. Joe, how is this happening?
The Republic invaders.
Republic invaders.
Guys, we
Lay
got
that
some
order.
news.
Uh-huh.
There's still more Republican
Roger.
separatists.
Wait, who's Roger?
We have new orders.
Who's that?
Incapacitate and capture. Activating ever.
He's like, this is a blast from the past. Did not expect this. Guys, battle droids, really? On the show?
Well done, B-1268.
Roger, roger.
What? He's like, am I having a flashback or something?
It's not over.
Oh,
Rex.
no, Rex, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. He's called Cody.
Sorry,
Did he just call him
Thought you were
Cody?
someone else.
I need you now, buddy.
How are you even operating?
The Jedi
That's a good
betrayal
point.
ended the war for most of the galaxy, but here on Agamar, I assumed it was a Republic trick and prevented the shutdown command.
Well, it
What?
doesn't matter how it
I'm not playing some stupid war game.
That is correct, Lasat. Your species were not in the Clone Wars, so you will be the hostage your allies must save. The Jedi
What?
rescue.
because we're not fighting.
If you will not fight, you will be terminated.
I'll fight your Clone War.
What? Ezra, no.
Ezra, you've never been in the Clone Wars.
What it was like, the good and the bad.
God, we're going back to the Clone
You won
Wars.
this last
We're going back to
battle.
the Clone Wars.
Besides, look at them. How can we lose?
Hey.
Hey, I think I've just been insulted.
Get out of our
Now follow my logic on this. If the Republic became the Empire, would a separatist in today's world be a rebel? This must be how like parents feel when they see their kids like getting into music from their era. Whoa! They're easy to take out. It's just a number.
That tactical droid has had a long time to think about this. And remember,
Yep.
he wants to win.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
it means so much to him.
Yeah, it means a lot to his programming. It means a lot to mine as well.
Your programming?
We clones were bred for combat. With few exceptions, there was no other way of life for us.
We should move.
Right, Commander. Kanan.
Oh, but we know that there was so much individual growth too.
Pretty good. Might as well surrender now.
I am not programmed to comprehend your humor.
I'm not joking.
Ha, ha, ha.
I'm sorry. Are you programmed to be sarcastic?
Send in the destroyers.
Oh, not the rolling death balls! No, anything but the rolling death balls! No!
They'll draw their attention.
There's gonna be a lot of fire. We'll have to be quick.
Ezra, move as fast as you can.
You can count on me.
Okay, if you're Rex and you're in this, are you just like looking at Ezra and being like, I just am getting such Anakin vibes off of you right now? Because even I'm getting like some Anakin vibes here. Oh, I never thought I'd get to see a battle droid again, you guys. Hey, I'm here to
Where
help.
have you been? But we're not leaving without Zeb. So you get it running, and I'll get the others.
Cool. Awesome. Nice.
We need to move now.
No, rest.
He's no. He has armor on. He's fine. He's totally fine. He's completely fine. Come on, Ezra. Whoa!
You all right?
I'm good.
You better be.
Generation armor always holds up.
They made it better back in my day. That's right, sir.
If we're gonna survive this, we're gonna do it with strategy and discipline.
He's got a good
It's
point.
not you. He needs to finish this battle
Yeah.
his way.
I mean, they both kind of have a score to settle, you know. He's taking this ultra serious. I mean, he's not wrong. You do need to be very, very careful. But at the same time, like, he's like in ultra Rex mode. Oh! Yeah! Death by helmet. Nice. Didn't we determine that you could...
That droid's too old.
Just like me.
Aww.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Be careful, everyone. The Clone Wars were no joke, but a lot of people died in those Clone Wars.
Well, looks like we win.
I disagree.
Duh. What are you saying?
We didn't win. These droids are so old they malfunction. If they hadn't, we'd be goners.
The boy is correct.
I know the Jedi were wiped out. The clones were decommissioned, and the droid army was just shut down. The Clone War ended, but why? If none of you won, who did?
Who won? Palpatine won. Palpatine won. There was there was...
Zeb, that's right. How did you know?
Because they're here.
Oh, yeah. Also,
What are the chances your droid army can defeat the Empire?
My resources are depleted. However, the droid army is not currently at war with the Galactic Empire.
here's the thing. I go back to my earlier reasoning. If you are a separatist from the ruling faction, what does that make you in today's times?
Greetings. I am Unit 1268.
They're just like, greetings!
Greetings.
Oh, he's just giving you a greeting, so they're...
Oh my god.
Oh
I
no!
think we face a common enemy now.
It's so horrible, so funny!
Let him.
And when you were both weak enough, the Empire took over.
Exactly. You were just killing time for Palpatine.
What were the Separatists fighting for?
According to my programming, freedom from the tyranny of the Republic.
Fighting tyranny. Sounds like the Empire has always been your enemy.
You are against the Empire. I am against the Republic. Now, the Republic has become the Empire. I accept
Indeed.
the logic. We are on the same side.
Sorry.
Yay!
However, as I
Who
stated,
knew?
my forces are too depleted for me to plan a successful counterattack.
Fighting insurmountable odds? We can help you with that.
Hey, that happens to be our forte.
You two will then redirect their blaster bolts toward the shells more accurately. Thus, setting up more targets than my droids could hit alone.
Well, this takes trust to a whole new level.
Yeah, right.
Fire.
Nice. we're deflecting them, but like not like we did back in the Clone Wars.
I made it.
Oh, oh no! He didn't make it. He didn't make it. Battle droids. Why are you so funny when you die? You make me feel like a bad person.
We have survived the battle. It was not a victory, but a successful strategy nonetheless.
No, it was a victory.
It was a victory for all of us.
We all just won the Clone War. And you ended it, Ezra. A galaxy of senators couldn't do that. An army of Jedi, clones, and droids couldn't find the middle ground, but you did.
One very special
All I
boy
did was
did.
point out that none of you were meant to win. You couldn't.
And we needed to hear it.
Yeah, you did. Closure.
This is where we must part ways.
Roger, Roger.
Roger.
Imagine fighting that many droids all the time.
You think that was bad? Let me tell you about the Battle of Geonosis.
Tell us about the Battle of Geonosis!
The good news is, we don't need a pickup because we found a new Phantom. Tell Sabine she's gonna need
Got
a
a new
reach out.
Phantom. We're commissioning you, Sabine! We need you to make it beautiful! Yay! Ah! I can't believe they did that! Is this really happening? Is this really happening right now? You know what's so crazy about it? If I could just go off on a tangent for a little bit, because I have so much to say when it comes to Clone Wars. I got so over invested in that series, and it's like it doesn't go away. It just like goes a little dormant until somebody just dredges it up again, and I just get on my tangent again about it. Kind of like what we saw here. I loved Clone Wars, and I just cannot emphasize to you. If you watch with me, then you know this whole thing, because I'm still editing my reactions to Clone Wars, and so I still like go through this with myself whenever I edit. I just cannot overemphasize how frustrated I would get thinking none of the victories are victories, because this whole thing is predetermined, and this whole thing is just being orchestrated for one person to come in and take advantage of every single aspect of both sides. It's just all pointless, and it's just they're both fighting, and it's important, and we want to help in the fights, but at the end of the day it doesn't mean anything because the Empire's gonna come in, they're gonna take over, and just like it would just like get to me, just like wear on me. And I feel like what they did here was they gave Rex and the droids, and maybe even to a little degree us, the audience, they gave us some closure on it, because and particularly for, we don't think about it very often. I don't think about it very often with the battle droids, because I just assumed, they were all just, I didn't even know there were any out there left. And it's crazy to like see that there were a ton left. And because, also, what level of strategist are you to look at that shutdown order and be like, this is a trick. I'm going to do the opposite. How battle weary are you? I never thought about it with the droids, but certainly with the clones, there was just the whole thing was just so pointless. And it's just so heartbreaking. And it's so heartbreaking to think that Rex carries all that with him. And to wake up in the Clone Wars, you guys, how much must that F with your head? I just can't even imagine. And I just love that Ezra, it's true, Ezra did what, like, the best of the, I watched Padme strut her senatorial stuff all over the place for seasons of Clone Wars. And no one could do what Ezra did in this episode. And that was just, and really it's he was doing it in hindsight, because now we know that the whole thing was just prep for the Empire to come in and take over. The war was pointless. And it's so sad to think that, because for the droids it was their life, for the clones it was their life, and at the end of the day it was just somebody's stepping stone to a bigger plan, and it's just sickening. And to see both sides get that closure that, like, okay, we finally settled the score and we had a victory, and now we have closure, and we could just kind of, put it behind us, but we're still fighting, but in a way just kind of have like a resolution. Because that's it. There was never any resolution. We know that clones made it out of it alive. They aged more quickly, so I don't know how fast they died or anything like that, but we know that, like, they're around and they're just like, what do I do? They're without purpose, which is just so sad. And after all that they did and sacrificed in the war, it was all just a big game. It was all just a big game. And this is why I hate Palpatine. And you guys don't need to hear about this again, because if you watch Clone Wars with me, you saw me. I just added a reaction where I was like literally like this. Like I was like trying to force choke Palpatine. So you don't need to hear about how much I hate Palpatine. You guys already know. But I could just rant about this for days, so I'm going to wrap it up. But oh wow, yeah, I've been ranting for a few minutes here. I'll wrap it up, but I absolutely love that episode. I loved I love that they did. It took me a second to even like register it at first because I'm just so used to it, and then I was like, oh my God, they did the Clone Wars outro. Oh God, it's so nostalgic. It's so nostalgic. I can't handle it. I can't believe they did that. I like, every time I sit down and watch a show, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna have a standard episode because there's no way they could possibly top it today. Who comes up with this stuff? Like, really? What is going on in that boardroom? Can I tap in to a percentage of that creativity for just a second? All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm fading here. My sanity is fading very quickly. God, I love that. I'm gonna carry that with me for like the rest of the week. I absolutely stinking love that. That's why I had to stick around for the credits. Good call. Good call. I'm glad I did. Oh man. All right. I loved it. I don't know if you could tell. I don't know if that came through, but I loved it. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. And please, God only knows what they're going to pull out next time. Don't leave me next time. Please be sure to join me next time. And we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.